Yo, 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 yo. We are about to begin here shortly. This is going to be a good episode. This is going to be a good episode. You there, Impossible?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, most def, most def. I'm just gonna go ahead and allow probably like another at the end of this song, the end of this intro. I'm gonna go ahead and cut straight into it. All right.
All right.
How you doing though?
Man, amazing, bro.
How was the fast?
Oh,
You still
every
going?
I just came off today.
Okay.
I'm going right
Yeah.
back in tomorrow. I'm going back in tomorrow on a juice fast. I already got my juice already.
Okay. I honestly, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna probably end up. I'm gonna come off. I came off this morning. I was like, I feel like Monday I'm gonna go ahead and fast again, just because of the fact that
Yeah,
we got family dinner on Sunday. So I was like, they want to do
I
some
felt too
famine. I was
good.
like, whatever.
It was too good. It was too much was going on. I fasted from everything, bro. That's why
Mm-hmm.
you didn't see me on no social media. My phone got cracked, so I couldn't even get. I just got my phone fixed yesterday.
See, that's funny you say that because all I was doing, like, I didn't even like post the updates to my episode coming this week.
Man,
I wasn't saying much in
everything.
the group chat. I was just watching Black Magic and a bunch of other esoteric things. I don't know. With that, I was also reading a couple books that are bought from a couple people who spoke their truth on the podcast. Some of them were off. Some of them are authors. I ended up getting their books and reading their books, and I was like, "Yo!" So I mean, this week was pretty
Amazing.
eventful. Yeah, it was
Amazing.
eventful. I was just
Amazing.
like, "Dang, I have not felt that productive in a long time."
I did more meditation than anything.
See, I wanted to do that, but I got two
I
small
did more
kids.
meditation.
They
Every
demanded.
time I did some reading though. I did do some
Mhm.
reading. The meditation was more than anything. The third day, I felt kind of sluggish about Wednesday, which I
Yeah.
know that Wednesday sluggish always come on that third day because the body don't know what to do. And then shit came Thursday, Friday, I was fucking off the roof, man.
Way. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Thursday and Friday, that was the roof. I was like, yo, calm down, buddy.
And it's funny because, like, honestly, Monday, Tuesday was like my hardest days. And then like I think it was like when I was coming off shift on Tuesday. Let me go ahead and get this going.
Let's go. We'll catch up. We got it.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Let's do it.
Move fast in this dance we call the past. Mental health, a fragile thread, but we'll find strength. Let love spread, life's a climb. Just take a step, rise above, find your breath in the darkness. We will find a shining light to free our mind, to free our mind. Self-will bloom like petals bloom, shedding tears will heal the wounds and the chaos. Let's find peace, embrace the pain, let it release.
Relax your mind. It's divine time. Hello, hello, hello to all. Hello again, hello again, hello again. This is the one and only, your boy Don Lee Divine. Now, with it, I like to do introductions, so let me go ahead and hit that. Welcome to Divine Time Podcast, a space where we explore the depths of spiritual growth, life's most profound lessons, and the true purpose of love. I'm your host, Don Lee Divine. Hello to all, and I invite you to join me on a journey of introspection and discovery. Together, let's explore the beauty of spiritual growth, the wisdom hidden in life's challenges, and the transformative power of love. So, again, I'm your boy Donley Divine. What I like to do is bring different people onto the panel on Saturdays. I also do some episodes where I'm by myself, but I enjoy a good conversation. I'm an intellectual individual. So with that, for me to stimulate my mind, I talk with other people. And with it, I like to go in depth into topics. Today's topic, I want to talk about celebrating the unseen strengths of mothers. So, unsung heroes. Mothers do not get the praise they deserve. But before I even do that, let me go ahead and have Mr. Impossible over here introduce who he is. Go ahead, my king, my bro. This
Peace,
guy.
peace, peace to the family, peace to everybody out there. Just came off this wonderful fast that we just had these last 5 days, man. It was amazing. And Impossible, Prince King God, talk that crap. You already know what it is. Enlighten your mind, soul light. That's what it's all about. It's about you knowing who you are from the highest in depth. I say the highest in depth of self. That's what it's all about. For you to know who you are and for you to travel that journey within. That's what the day is about. So we're going to talk about the mothers and the celebrity and celebration of the mothers and the unsung mothers and mothers that already celebrated. So let's get into it, Donnie.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sorry, I'm setting up a new setup. I'm getting used to it. Like next time you come over, you can be like, "Oh, okay, I see you. I see what you're doing." Damn, my hair's shooting all over the place, bro. Why ain't you more me, bro? I'm over here looking like Carnage from Spider-Man.
I thought you wanted to go with the wild look. I thought you wanted
Hey,
to
you
go
know what?
with
I'm
the
a wild
full
boy. It's cool.
Lion
I'm a
Man,
wild thing, baby.
You know what I mean?
But
I
no,
thought you wanted to
seriously.
go full wild on it.
Rolling into today's topic, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to end up having some other individuals join us as time flows on, which is perfectly fine because I always end up welcoming them in. We always have some good individuals. The panel team that we have is remarkable. They are amazing. True
Awesome.
talking a lot.
Yeah.
I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I am at many places right now. So when you hear me saying hello, how you doing, conductor of the poop train? What's good? Thank you. I'm everywhere. I'm doing a lot at the moment. But with my biggest thing is I wanted to honestly, because with it for I think it was about 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years. I had my partner. She was a stay-at-home mom, and with that, she was taking care of the kids. And this is when they were like, from when my son was like 1 to like 4, and our daughter was like 1 to like 3. She was just staying at home, taking care of the house and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, there was times where I was just like, "Yo, like, what the world? Like, you need to give some time to yourself. Like, it can't be that difficult. Like, they're children, you know, nigga."
Yeah.
So check this out. I wanted her to get out the house, so I had her get like a little job. Had her get I'm gonna call it a little job. Get a little job just so that way she can be away from the kids and get some time to herself to kind of like get in her mind and figure out herself again. Because after having children, she devoted a lot of time into them. So therefore, she couldn't get back to the things that she enjoyed. Therefore, causing her to kind of lose herself. So I was like, look, find yourself. And in that time, I stepped up and started taking care of the kids and everything. And my God, bruh, me working full time and dealing with these children full time, like, let me put it like this: dealing with myself full time, because now it's like I'm dealing with myself, but I'm dealing with little versions of me as well. That's right there. Anybody who does not have children, you don't understand how stressful that is. You don't understand how tiring that is, how much energy they drain from you. Like, I had to sit back and literally a couple of days ago, me and my wife had a conversation, and she brought some things to my attention. She was like, do you have the kids on a schedule? I was like, it's kind of hard to get them on a schedule because I'm like, I got 2 dogs I need to take out constantly. I was like, and then with the kids, while at the same time trying to balance, I'm like, I'm already not sleeping. I'm like, so just to make sure that, because they always want to play, or at the same time I need to, I was like, I don't have them on a schedule. So to answer your question, no, I don't have a schedule. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she asked me some more questions. And then like at the end of all of that, she was like, you remember when we were back in Washington and you were from work and you'd be like, okay, how come this and this isn't done? Or, hey, like, what did you do today? Like this and this and such and so forth. She was like, see how that feels? I'm just like, yeah. I was like, it's not easy. I was like, and I congratulate you. I was like, because I'm not gonna lie. Every morning that I get off work and I come in and I'm like, I got about 45 minutes before these kids wake up. I'm like, there's no point on even trying to close my eyes because if they wake up early, that whole thing feels pointless. I was like, all right, bet, got to feed them, got to make sure that they're entertained. At the same time, trying to teach them flashcards or trying to get them reading everything. You don't have time to really sit there and think of yourself. And it made me, the reason why I wanted to do this episode is because it made me think of all these single mothers or even single fathers who are out there. But ultimately, I want to give praise to the single mothers because of the fact that they have more of that connection due to the fact that they carried these children for 9 months or however long they carried them. Because there are some children who are in there for a little bit more than 9 months and some children who come out way before 9 months. But even so, with that, you have that actual connection with them before that soul actually hits that body and your water breaks, you know? And then when that water breaks, now you are connected to them in a level of one nurturing and love. So where even if you don't want that child, you still unfortunately feel things for it, and you have to kind of teach yourself to kind of back off on that for those who don't want that responsibility at all. But they still end up feeling that hurt and pain and still going through that resentment in their head as time goes on if they do let those children go. I want to give praise to the mothers today. And with that, I'm not sure if my kids are going to be camera shy, but I definitely wanted to try and bring them on and have them talk about, because the only one that they know is their mom and their toodles, their grandma, and my mom, their grandma, well, their grandmas. So if they're not camera shy, I'm probably gonna try and pull them on later on and just have them talk about all the things they love about their mom. But yeah, again, if they're not camera shy, I already told them, I was like, hey, I want y'all to do this, but if y'all don't want to, that's perfectly fine. I was like, if you get camera shy, I'm gonna go ahead and just push y'all off the camera. Just be honest, because I don't want the whole for like 5 minutes. But with it, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me ask you, starting off, since you're on here, because I was gonna ask this question to myself. What is mother's love?
Man, it's so much layers to a mother's love. From the teaching to the nurturing to the compassion to bringing out that thing within inside of you, the preparation that mothers go through, the dedication that a mother goes through. I mean, like I said, there's layers beyond layers beyond layers. What I'm speaking in words is still only a fraction of what mothers really truly do and what their definition really is. I'm only speaking from fractions because I'm saying it because I grew up without a mother. I grew up with a grandmother and an auntie that is my mother. So I grew up with a different type of complex when it comes to the understanding of mothers. The impact of mothers and what it means to us as a community, as a society, as soul beings is imperative. Is imperative. So that love goes out every day to mothers. Mothers are always celebrated, no matter what. It seems like it. She's getting a raw deal, but she's not. Mothers are always honored. It's so many ways to honor mothers, and so many ways that mothers come in and impact. Without mothers, there would be no society. There would be nothing. That's the importance of mothers. The foundation of what mothers truly mean to this society is the very structure of it. Without mothers, there is nothing. They birthed us all. So I give all honors to mothers, single mothers, mothers that are in relationship, mothers that have, going through some hard times, quote unquote, they call it hard times, whatever that may be. I give all honor to mothers because you are the reason why we are who we are today. It's because of mothers. Shout out to the fathers, but it's the mothers that bring life into this world. Fathers participate in it, but we are grown in the womb. We come through the womb. We don't come through the testicles. We come through the womb. So the mothers, they are life givers. They're life nurturers. They're guardians. They're guidance. I can go on and on about mothers, what mothers mean. Yeah, mothers are everything, man.
I agree. Mothers truly are everything. I mean, when it comes down to it, a lot of I can really only speak on Christianity. They leave the mother out. And I'm like, you don't understand how important the mother is. Because without the mother, you would not have that birth. Without that mother, you wouldn't have that baptism as they call it, putting yourselves and being reborn in the water. How do you think that even comes about? Nourishing, warmth, security, and hello. How are you doing? So Sharice Collins says nourishing, warmth, security, encompassing, and chastening. I got my glasses on. That's still small. I barely can see that, bro. But no, seriously.
Yes.
The nourishing, yes. What is mother's love? Nourishing. I mean, they're constantly feeding into you, whether that is physically, spiritually, or mentally. And they do it so effortless. They don't try to. It just comes. It's something like, how you hear some people say where it's like you have that mother's instinct. Like when some people give birth, all of a sudden they get that mother's instinct. It's like they know what they need to do without even actually.
Exactly.
We talked
Exactly.
about this before, where you have natural and you have the natural and you have the normal. So, for example, other animals and mammals, when they're born, they're not taught how to be what they are. They just know how to do it. And I mean, when it
Exactly.
comes down to it, that mother's instinct of nourishing, that I can agree with warmth, but sometimes the warmth is shown in different ways. Does that make sense? So I'm like the warmth,
Yes.
for example, some mothers will sit there and they'll be straight up truthful and brutally honest with you. That is their warmth. They're not going to sit there and protect you and shield you from the world, which, because of the depending on where you are living in the world or how you're being brought up and what the society is around you, you might have to get those tough words to actually make it to where you end up building that hide to where you can go out into the world and let things bounce up off of you, rather than going into the world and absorbing everything that people say or do to you and taking it personally and ultimately doing more damage to yourself. So I feel like a mother's warmth, they're not always going to swaddle you as in warmth. Could be a blanket, could be on embrace. That's where I'm trying to get to right now. That's where I'm trying to get to right now, Sharice. Get out my head. I mean, stay in my head, but get out my head. Let me finish saying what I'm trying to say. But definitely, they're not always going to swaddle you like with a blanket and literally sit there and warm you like that. It says, like, it's okay, baby, I got you. Sometimes it's going to be an embrace, like, yo, boom, hold you tight. Sometimes you're gonna feel like you can't breathe because they're holding you so tight, giving you that love. But at the same time, that right there, that mother's love, that comforting, the warmth that she puts around you with a hug, that is that tight. Sorry, I've been doing sight words with my son, so now with me saying is and that it's throwing me off. But when they are holding you that tight, it's almost as if they are teaching you to harden yourself, to where even when you feel that you are compressed by the world around you, you know that at the end of the day, you have been held tight like that. So it has brought you into a level of understanding and recognizing that, you know what, sometimes things that are holding me tight are actually doing good for me. What is the lesson in this? So instead of taking it as a bad thing when something hard may happen in your life, you look at it like, okay, cool. Yeah, this happened, but what did I learn from it? Because sometimes a mother might not even say something to you, and she may be so frustrated or disappointed in you. Sometimes the best thing she can do is just hug you. And that's how she'll take her frustration out, because she knows, you know what, hitting this child, beating this child, that would be me taking my anger out on you. And I still love you. The decision you made may have cost a lot at the time, but I don't want you to think that you are a horrible individual because you made a mistake, you had a minor slip up. Sometimes they will grab, like, I've had this situation happen with my mom. Like, there was a time where I got expelled for having a firearm on school property, and that made the news. And my mom was working for the government, almost lost her job. And she told me she was disappointed, but she had hugged me so tight. And I look back on it now, and I'm just like, dang, she hugged me because she wanted to knock the shit out of me. She would talk no lie. Like, that was her way of taking out her anger, rather than beating the shit out of me, in all honesty. So, I mean, with that, looking back at it now, I'm like, dang, she loved me so much that she did not take my life. But at the same time, she put so much pressure on me to where it's something that's ingrained in my mind constantly. So when I'm going through hard times and I know I have messed up, I look back on that and I'm just like, dang, you know what? There's good to come from this. Sorry, my mom
All
had.
good. 'Cause a mother's love is if it's true love, a mother's love is going to come forward. It's going to give you all that you desire. If it's true love, when she hugged you because you almost cost her her career, you didn't understand what you were doing because you were doing what you wanted to do, quote unquote, not realizing the repercussions behind your action. Just like myself, I've done things where it has caused things in my family. I got my ass whooped. It wasn't no, I got you a hug. I got this belt and I whooped your ass for that. So I understand the difference. It still was a mother's love because that was the discipline that she placed upon me. With that same type of discipline, I understood now there are certain things I don't think I need to be doing no more.
Yeah.
And it's because of the discipline of that mother's love that she poured into me, regardless how I may look to others. That's what was required in my life at that particular time. I needed my ass whipped because it would have never came to me to really understand what it is to make a change in my life if it wasn't for that type of mother's love, based upon my complex. So that mother's love was necessary the way that she gave, just like your mother's love was given to you the way it was necessary.
Mothers.
The dynamics of mothers, man.
What is the earliest memory you have of your mom?
When I was 1 year old,
And what
I
was
had
that?
I had a like a little blood order, and they wanted to give me some type of steroids or something like that when I was young, and she wouldn't give me that. So instead of that, she gave me like a little cap full of red wine, and it had something to do with my blood and iron or something like that. And she gave me the red wine, and that kind of leveled everything else out. And the next year, she transitioned. I was 2 years old. So I was born in 74. My first memory of her is in 1975. I don't remember coming out of the womb, but I remember her whispering in my ear saying that, hey, when you find love again, I will be there. And that has been the honest truth. When I rediscovered love again, she was there.
I mean, all of us cannot have that Terrence Howard experience of remembering when we were in the womb and coming out and the thoughts. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that
was in the womb, but I definitely remember 1 year old and years after that. I remember coming to South Carolina when I was 2 years old, and I remember crying in my grandmother's arms when I was brought and I was dropped off at her home. Rest in power to my grandmother. And I just remember crying, saying I want my mommy, but just could not understand that she wasn't coming back. You know, so I was yearning for that mother's love even then at the age of 2 years old. So just crying to that nature, it did something to me inside that I didn't understand till 30 years later. So it was about at the age of 33 and I really understood that the impact of those tears of desiring that mother's love to that degree. So yeah, that mother love is that's first memory. I was one.
That's beautiful. I like that. For me, my earliest memory, like I gotta say, I grew up with my aunt for a while, so it's like I remember her like coming home and sitting on the little couch, and the television usually be on, and my grandma sitting there watching like old gospel preachers and everything they're going. And I remember one time I was talking, me and my older cousin, we ended up holding like our own little church. I don't want to say ceremony. What's it called? So we held like a little service. Me and my cousin, we held like a little service, and we was taking turns on being the pastor. And it put like a smile on my aunt's face. But I also remember like my mom came to New York to grab me and my sister. And I remember my aunt, who I thought was my mom, telling me to go with my mom. And I'm looking at my mom like, yeah, what the hell? So I mean, like that's kind of like the earliest one that I remember with my actual mom.
Wow.
But I mean, it was interesting because I kind of feel like I grew up with two mothers, even though like one is my aunt. I always, for like the longest time, I remember her being my mom. Cherie says her watching me pull apart my first fully loaded burger at 3 years old.
That's funny. Burger.
I know, right? Pulling apart a burger. Man, that makes me think right now of like my daughter and my son when my son's just like, I don't want cheese on my burger, and he'll like try and scrape it off. And my daughter will just be like, I'll eat it. So
Zaria gonna eat it. She don't care.
Yeah, that woman, that little woman, that grown little child.
That little one is
something else. One thing that I want to say, like, no matter how old you get, there's so many fond memories that you have with your mother. I mean, even if like you did not get along perfectly with your mom, I feel like everybody at some point sits down, they think of those good times with their family. Their mother always has a spot in their heart. And I mean, even if they did not know their mother growing up, they still think of them. And I know some people who were like in foster homes, they would end up thinking about their foster parents, or they would create memories, which is crazy to me. It was interesting to learn about. They would create memories of what they would think that their mother looked like and the times that they would have together. Have you ever heard of that?
No, but the imagination is a very powerful thing.
Mm. True. We talked about that last week? Imagination briefly.
That is
So I
a
mean,
very
yes.
powerful thing. So yeah.
But with it, I want to go ahead and flow into the next thing that I wanted to do, which of course has to do with mothers. Mothers, we see you. With this, nothing that you do goes unseen. Everything that you say sticks with us. We might not remember it right when you ask us, but when we're doing something to where we know we shouldn't, your voice comes through our head. When we're doing things that we don't understand why we're doing it, but yet at the same time, it has a positive impact on us. Later on, we remember exactly where it came from. I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, when someone passes on and you're doing something and they pop into your mind, that's them reminding you that they're still with you. I feel that when it comes down to mothers, whether they have passed on or they're still here, they have that connection. They're always able to remind you, like, hey, you sitting there, you feel like your ear like hurt a little bit, and you're like, oh damn, my mom will pull my ear right now if I did this. Like, I feel like they're always there. They always have a way of reminding you that they are there. Everything that a mother does towards their children, or even the children that may not be theirs, but that they put their embrace around, it never goes unseen. It never goes unremembered. It's always in that memory. We just wish, let me put this one. We just wish you listened out the gate. Be the first thought, not the afterthought. I mean, it's a lot easier said than done. I'm not gonna lie. I'm stubborn by nature. I mean, that's me and my family in general.
Okay.
Yeah, as much as I said it, I am stubborn. I'm very stubborn. And
I, I
with me,
I disagree.
you disagree that I'm stubborn?
I know you're stubborn, but it's not because of your family or your nature. It's about being conditioned and cultivated in particular systems and
Mm-hmm.
thought processes. It's the thought process and the idea that you believe in that makes you quote unquote be who you are. That wasn't because of anything else. The mothers we see you is the fact that they could see something in us as mothers that we're not able to see. We're not able to see what mothers can see because we don't understand and the vantage point which mothers really see.
I
So
agree
we're looking
completely with
at
that.
we're looking at mothers and we're honoring mothers based upon what they're giving to us on a daily basis through the generations.
Yeah,
And we can't forget the greatest mother of all is a divine mother. The
fact.
mother, we see you. So if we don't see first in that divine mother, and we don't see her first and honor and respect and reverence that, then yeah, it becomes harder to reverence your physical mother. So the things that you were disobedient when you were younger, it was only because you didn't know your divine mother. Because if you did, you wouldn't treat your earthly mother the way that you did.
Mm, okay. See, the way that I was always thinking of it was just the fact that the way that I would comprehend things. So when things were being told to me, if it wasn't like if you could tell me anything, but if I did not understand what you were saying, it didn't really mean
Mm,
anything to me. What I mean by that is the way that I
mm,
operate and the way that I also notice my daughter operates is, and this is why I talk to my daughter the way I do, and I talk to my son the same way. I'll tell them, for example, don't do this because this, and this could happen. Now, if this happens, how would you feel? If this happens, how would you feel? If this happens, how would you feel? So that way they understand the consequences of why they should not do this. They understand completely. So for me, it was just go take a bath. Well, why do I need to take a bath? Because I said so. That don't mean nothing to me. Or don't touch this. Why not? Because I said so. So it was just like I need to understand that that's how it was for me. But I mean, when it goes down into just a in the Marine Corps, we had a cadence: discipline, instant willingness, obedience to all orders. So therefore, if I had that discipline to where when someone told me not to do something, I just right off the bat don't do it because I was told not to. Would you? I I feel like I would lack knowledge in a lot of things because I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities. Well, I wouldn't say opportunities because you smell like the great. Seriously, Ma, for real, for real, for real. Yes, I'm a nature boy. Not the nature boy that just got locked up, but I'm before that. I'm a nature boy. But yo, Sigma Uno. I see that you got your mic muted. Is that on purpose or are you trying to figure that out?
Uh,
Okay.
I'm in a hospital, so background may be a little bit loud.
I'm aware of your situation.
Uh,
Since you on here, I'm hoping you feeling better. You better be feeling better because if you still feeling the type of way, I'm move you.
Hey, did you say your
no,
hospital?
yeah,
We'll talk
yeah,
offline.
yeah,
All
we'll
right.
talk later. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Get you coming on because I know what you about to do. You about to drop some knowledge. You about to drop some knowledge. You about to drop some praise. Go ahead, bro. You got the floor.
so
I might.
for the most part, I agree with Brother Impossible about the Divine Mother, or and not just the Divine Mother, but the understanding that should have been passed down from generation to generation. We herald fathers in the patriarchal, but we fail to herald mothers in the matriarchy. My first understanding of matriarchy or the divine mother was long after my mother had passed. The I understand what you're saying, Danley, when you say the understanding. I think what should have happened is when instead of just this basic discipline that's passed down, there should have been a conversation. So if you believe that all your children are precious and they come from a higher place, then there should be a conversation and explaining to them, hey, this is why I believe that you're here. This is what we're going to teach you. This is how we're going to teach you. This is the expectation. There were no ground rules, especially if you have single mothers. And again, we have to take into consideration the hustle and bustle of life. So if their whole goal is to make sure you have a place to sleep, food in your mouth, and clothes on your back, and that you can get to school and you're taken care of, then that is the forefront thing in their mind. Their expectation is that you would know and respect that, but we didn't know and respect that because that law was not laid down. For me, it
Check.
was different because my dad determined that we didn't disrespect my mother, that we did not disrespect my sisters, that we didn't disrespect females, period. So that was a baseline for me. The hard part is wading through all of this crap that we deal with on a daily basis in life. So when we're doing that, we don't have time to teach, and that is the big issue. So trying to understand how to make this better is there's this village concept that we're also missing. The village concept puts in our mind that we're not only raised by my mother or father, but we're raised by the people around us. Those people
Check.
around us make sure that those things are taught to us about the feminine, the divine feminine, about the divine masculine, about what our role is and how we're supposed to respect that, how we're growing up is how we're supposed to grow up and be respectful as young men and young women. That's the village concept. That has long died. So the idea that we're looking past the greatness of the mothers in our lives is almost a design because if we look past them, we can't determine in our mind that there's a greatness and we should respect it. We can't because we've been taught by the basis of looking at our parents to do the exact same thing because that's what we need to do in order to live and survive. The basic thoughts in our mind are survival, and it's not teaching individually what we need, what we need to honor the people around us, honor their father and mother all the days of your life. So honor thy father and thy mother all the days of your life, basically, so you can be blessed, right? If that's not happening, then we've removed a key element in blessings, removed a key element in respect and honor. We've removed all of that. So if we don't have that key element, then everyone's literally running wild and being disrespectful. I was watching this show, and the show was talking about, there was a lot of violence in regards to it, but we went from me growing up and respecting the idea that I cannot go to can bring no drama to my mama's house. I can't bring no drama to my grandmother's house or none of my aunties because that was the main respect, right? We grew up knowing that. That concept is gone for these younger men and younger women. They don't care. They're coming to your grandma's house or your mama's house, wherever they think you are, and they're kicking in the door and being ultimately disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? It's a collapse. There's been a collapse, and that's the problem. I always think about what it takes to get things back on track. And the best thing I can do is teach my sons and daughters to respect their mom, even though she acts the way she acts or who she is. Respect her, honor her, because she's your mom. Regardless of how you feel about what she does or what she says, you respect her and honor her. Because if they do that, then they'll respect and honor the other women in their lives, or the women they determine to marry. But that's all in an education and a teaching. The energy in giving and having those key elements is putting the mother exactly where she's supposed to be, and her to the tune of remembering her, so her days will be longer. We're all decaying based on this idea that we can't see each other. We're diminishing based on that. And if we can see each other and we understand that we're there not in the hustle and bustle and everything that we're doing in passing, we're completely disrespectful to each other in passing. Nobody opens doors anymore. Nobody nobody honors and says hello to mother, or move out of their way or try to help them. Nobody does that anymore at all. Period. There's a dire need for that respect, because if
Peace, Diamond.
the rem- the remembrance of all of this is gone, then what do we have? We have nothing but chaos. And at the end of the day, it's going to have to take us doing it, us teaching it, like we were talking about, teaching the young people. We're going to have to begin to teach that, and however way we need to teach it, whether it's a harsh way, don't hit your mom. I lit my kids on fire when I saw them throw stuff at their mom, and because it is a thing. If you feel like you can hit your mom, you're gonna haul off and hit any woman that you see. That's ridiculous. That is
Fact.
not acceptable. You see what I'm saying? So there is a deeply rooted love I have for the divine feminine. I do. I but it always hasn't been rhetorical, and I can admit that it hasn't been rhetorical all the time. There's things that have happened to me as a child that included the feminine aspect, and in their unknowing, or in their ignorance. But I can't deviate from what I know is the right thing, because not all women are the same, and not all women did this to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's man, it's and I will tell you, Miss Simona will tell you, I ask questions specifically about what's happening with them, because I need to know and I need to understand, so I can give the space and the latitude and the support that they need in order to continue to be, in order for them to continue to have what they need. I do that all the time because I can't forget. Like I said, we get caught in this hustle and bustle, and we forget to reach out and to consider, or to be considerate. And I do the same thing with my sisters. We have conversations all the time, and I just want to know how you're feeling, what's going on, how you're doing, learning stuff from them about what's happening in their life, what's happening in their body, how they're feeling from day to day. How can I help you, and to feel like you are respected and honored. All of that is important for me, because again, if we don't support that, then we're creating a generation of kids that have no respect, no honor, no love, not even to think about whether they should love or not. And the funny part about it is, years ago, man, you couldn't get nobody to disrespect your mama at school, or
Right.
you're getting your face blasted in because you talked about my mom. You know what I'm saying? But things have changed. It's like there's no care anymore. They don't care about it, or they've had such a bad experience that they've let the experience make them feel like, hey, I don't care. They didn't care about me. I don't care at all. But to call that to attention is important, whether it's in public, whether it's at your house, or in anywhere that you are. It's important to be called out, because if not, then nobody's there to support, nobody's there to care, and it dies. It'll die with us.
Now I have a question for you, Mr. Sigma Uno. When it comes to a mother's love, what do you
Mhm.
feel that a mother's love feels like? Like, can you describe what a mother's love means to you?
Mother's
Sorry.
love is a is like a warm blanket. It's like a quilt. Sometimes you almost feel like you're drowning under it, but it's the most warm, comfortable feeling you'd ever feel. And there's
Mhm.
love. There's so much love involved in it, and the way they speak is loving and caring. The way they touch you and the way they do things, even the discipline is like, yeah, I just got a whooping, but I love my mama. I love my grandmama. I love my aunties. I love them because they care about me, and the things that I remember that they've done, and how they put care into what they do. Food
Yes.
on the table, picking you up from school, walking you down the street, going fishing with. I went fishing with my grandmother. We had that type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? So all I could do is give her that love and care, because that's what she was wanting. That's what she wanted to build with us, with me and her. And I saw the generational gap between my mother and my grandmother when things were going so fast that she
Hmm.
didn't have time to deal with us the same way. And that's part of that was the beginning part of the death of this whole connection with your children. But that's what I think about. How it makes me feel.
All right. Now, with it, I have a question for you and Mr. Impossible. When it comes down to, or let me say this: how important is it for a mother to be in the household rather than a father being in the household? Which one do you feel is most important?
Uh,
Both. Go ahead, Mr.
I,
Possible.
I, I was just gonna say that's a crazy ass question to ask, because we know that taking away either one out of the household is detrimental to the family. So it
Hmm.
Hmm.
wouldn't matter if you
Hmm.
remove the mother or the father. Either one of them
Hmm.
you remove is detrimental to the family.
You're losing
I
Now,
something,
let's
agree.
get
right?
down to the importance of the mother being the first teacher. When you
Hmm.
remove the mother, there's certain nurturing understanding that a mother can give that a father is not able to give, because a father is not a mother. As
Facts.
much as that
Right.
father loved that child, as much as that father
Hmm.
can do for that child, as much as that father will provide and give anything for that child, that father can never be a mother, and a mother can never be a father.
Mm-mm,
So we got to
mm-mm,
stop with these ladies
mm-mm.
saying I'm a mother and a father and those type of things, because those things aren't true.
Right,
You're not able to be two sexes at the one time, and if you are, that's what you is. Okay, that's what that is.
right.
But you're talking about the infrastructure, the foundation to life is the mother.
Yes.
They may have demonized the mother. They may have misconstrued the mother. They may have give you faulty images of the mother. But the most powerful image on the planet is a mother. That's why they call her
Mm-hmm.
Mother Earth,
That's it.
Gaia,
That's it.
God.
That's it.
She mother.
Fact.
Mm-hmm.
Mother is the most powerful. That's why they say Mother Universe. It's
Mm-hmm.
Mother Universe. It
Everything
ain't
from
Father
Mm-hmm.
Universe. It's Mother
nope.
Universe.
Mother universe.
You got
Exactly.
Father Sky.
Everything
He's the
come through the
fertilizer.
womb. Everything come through the womb. In
Mm-hmm.
the cosmos, they call it
Mm-hmm.
the Vesica pieces. It comes through the womb.
That's it.
Call it Sophia, the highest wisdom. The highest wisdom is not known by a man; it's known by a woman.
Yo, Sharice Collins says you can't replace me. I can compensate and make provision for lack of dad, but mom is irreplaceable.
I'm trying to tell you. I promise you, mothers understand things that fathers can never. I'm a father and a grandfather. I can never be a mother. I may understand what a mother may go through, but I would never understand. I will always edify what a mother goes through and the layers that a mother is.
Yeah.
You cannot you cannot define a mother in one layer. You can't just say she's just this.
No.
Because she's so much more. She's so dynamic. She's multi-layered. She's multi-cultured. The mother is the most powerful being on the earth. On the earth.
Right.
That's why they want to demonize her so bad.
Yep.
That's it.
That is why they come out of everything.
Yeah. That mother is everything. So yeah, taking the mother out is that's kind of what they did, because they removed the principle and nature of the mother archetype. So we're gonna get into mother archetype. So the mother archetype had been removed. So that's how, as Brother Sigma Uno said, we got to this debacle. We got to this debacle because the removement of the mother archetype. When the archetype was deformed and given this particular image,
yes,
that now it can systematically be controlled and passed down generation to generation of ignorance.
Exactly.
The most powerful thing that can be done is for a mother to teach.
And they have so
father
much.
Can come in. A father is a disciplinarian. He be bringing the discipline.
That's it.
That's it.
The mother going to teach and nourish and nurture first. So yeah, when you mess with the mother, yeah, man, you messing with the very foundation of our community and our society.
Right.
When you mess with the structure of the mother, yeah, you destroy that.
I mean, I love the fact that you even said when you mess with the infrastructure of a mother. There are a lot of single mothers who are out there currently who I feel that they have removed themselves from that nurturing. What's the word I'm looking for? Remove themselves from nurturing the children. Because when you look into our community, melanated community, you have all these children who feel like, you know what? They feel like they need to be constantly strong, quote unquote, to where they didn't mask their emotions, hold everything in, that nobody's ever there for them, things along those lines. So when you said that, when you remove the woman, I mean, when I say remove the woman, remove that divine femininity, I'm like, that right there makes it to where now it's like you have nothing but that masculinity, which we're living in a world where there's so much masculine energy. And what do you see with all this masculine energy? A lot of destruction. There's nothing that's being raised up. There's nothing there's nothing flourishing. All the plants are being chopped down. I'm like, we have nothing but male plants with a crap load of pollen. There's not fruit. There's no fruit-bearing trees, no fruit-bearing plants, where there's nothing giving back nourishment of our kind. I'm like, there's something that is building us up. There's everything, even the soil, all the minerals have been stripped from the soil. Man comes and takes over. There's oftentimes nothing but a lot of destruction and chaos.
It is.
So what happens? Yeah, I feel like that's what happens when you take the woman out completely. And it seems like in this, I can only speak for America because that's where I'm at currently. But in America, they have removed the woman out of everything. When you come down to it, you have the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, Washington, D.C. I'm like, that right there was named after a woman originally. I'm like, on the first bills that they had in America, it was a woman on the front of that. I'm like, so when it came down to it, they started removing the woman. They then started putting men as the face and in power. And I feel like that's seeing a lot of things start going downhill. Everything started becoming masculine rather than the feminine. I'm like, came down to it, you had the mothers that really carried everything. And I feel like mothers was the birth of this country as well. That single mother, let me read this one real quick. That single mother is in over her head, and she is streamlining the process for self-preservation.
Facts. The struggle of survival.
Yeah.
She's in. So when you got mothers in survival mode, what do you think they teach the children?
Survival.
Survive.
Okay.
That's it.
So
That's
now,
it.
so now the principles that once would elevate you and allow you to evolve and change. Now you're in a state of survival. You lose your power
Mm.
because the mother elevates you. That's what the whole. That's why we coming back into this mother energy, this feminine energy that we coming into right now. It is changing everything on the planet. Why?
Yes.
Because it's
That's it.
elevating everything. That's what the mother
Right.
does. The mother elevates. She pours
Right.
into the children. They say we children of the sun. Now, man, it's so hot outside. Great, the mother is pouring into you. She loves you.
That's it.
She
That's
loves you.
it. That's it.
She is
So yeah, when
replenishing your DNA.
yes,
He is giving you
yes. So
everything that you are lacking currently.
and we lack nothing, only the knowledge of self. That's the part of mother that we're lacking, is to honor and reverence that mother. Again, like I said, if we understood divine mother as principle from our youth, a lot of things we wouldn't do because we would understood the principle of the mother,
So I have a
That's
of the
question.
it.
divine mother.
I have a question on that because the way that I was brought up, a lot of things that I went through on a spiritual aspect, spiritual level, spiritual plane, we should say, was oftentimes demonized. So would you say that it would be a woman who would be teaching the children about the spiritual aspects, their
Both.
bloodline,
It
and
should
where
be
they
both.
come to help them realize possibly what their purpose is here?
It
Both.
should be both, but the
Both.
woman has to be at a place where she understood her ability to relay the information to the individual. So it's not just what she should be doing. Is she at a state where she can be that conduit, the one that can feel the energy and the information coming through her, just as we as men can we sense the information and be intuitive of the information that's coming through us. Can we utilize that to propel our community, our family, our neighborhoods, our society? So the
Yes.
same thing goes from a woman, is what she's able to really harness within herself and what she's able to pour back into her family, her community, her society, that what she want to see flourish and grow. And that's what we took away,
Right.
because when a woman is so busy and she has so much to do, when she got to work, she got to come home, she got to deal with the kids, she got to cook, she got her own personal life. She still want to do personal development, so she want to grow for herself. I mean, when you just go those, and then she still got to go to sleep too. She got to sleep. She got to sleep. So when a woman is under that type of pressure, you know what I mean? Like, where she got the time to love at? Where it at?
No time. No time.
None.
None.
So now she bogged down. You know what I mean? Instead of her flourishing and being and revealing who she really is, she feel that she bogged down. And that's what a lot
And
about women at today. A lot about women feel that they bogged down.
there also used to be a circle of women that supported each other. That is something that doesn't no longer exist either. That doesn't exist. And there's a lot of jealousy, anger, and even in the places that you socially congregate, and there's all of that sets in before anyone thinks about being supportive. They're tearing each other down mentally, and then openly eventually. So there's no circle of mothers that are supporting that woman when things need to go. And again, this is again for me. It goes back to the village, because the village was consist of everyone, and they taught that child. When the child came to a specific age, somebody would come and pull him, depending on what he did or what his capabilities are. They pull him and they taught him. Mothers, like I agree with Brother Impossible. There is a nurturing. There's a definite nurturing that mothers give. I backed up the first maybe 5 years because of that, and I knew it wasn't time for them to come in my direction. And my sons I still talked to them. I still read stories, and we laughed and we played. But when it came time for the actual teaching, it was 8 or 9 when I pulled them, and that was the agreement. Now it's time for you to learn how to be a man, how to be respectful, how to be honorable, how learn the basis of our I think the the construct of our family. And that was a bit hard for me too, because learning the construct of the family was supposed to come from both sides of my family, my dad's and my mom's, but that didn't happen. So I had to find a new standard. I had to start teaching them about their culture, who they are, where they came from, what their lineage was, all of that. But it wasn't until the nurturing all happened and they got what they needed from their mom until I stepped in. I stepped in after that. The big part that I feel like is supportive for is a big support from mothers nowadays. And I watched this happen. I watched where there was a single mother that I knew, and her, even though the father wasn't there, she flooded her children with male influence. Whether it was somebody that she knew at church, whether it was somebody, it's always people that she knew that were strong enough to give an idea of what a man is. But it was her that reached out and was like, okay, it's time to flood them with these male images so they don't feel like they didn't have that when they grew up. And that's important as well. But the whole idea of pulling parents, or the parents not being there, I believe that came from a thing that we watched. And I think I mentioned this before. In the 70s, when my dad lost his job, my mom needed assistance. So she went to the state for assistance. But the rule at the time was that he couldn't be in the house. He had to leave the house in order for her to get assistance. So he packed his box and pretended like he was gone. But people actually came out to the house to find out, to make sure that she was following the rules. So when they knew somebody was coming, he packed his box, hide it, or put it in the back of the car, and he was gone. If that happened, when that happened, I watched a study, and the study was asking women if they actually felt like they needed a man. And this is a breakdown. This is a society breakdown. And they begin to say, no, I don't. I don't feel like I need him. I'm getting money from here. You don't have a job. What do I need him for? That was a complete breakdown of our culture, of the people in our culture. Not that it did just happen to our culture. It probably happened to others as well, but it was an additional breakdown to what we were already dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So that destroys the fabric of family and the teaching that is needed for the child to be balanced.
So I got
And
I got you
hold
know
on,
I
hold
love.
on. I wanna say one thing right quick to Brother
Go ahead.
Sigma Uno.
Mhm.
There are sisters right now that are coming together as communities. There are
Okay.
sister circles right here in South Carolina
Mm.
that are groups of
Okay.
women that come together and they
Wow.
collaborate as a community. So yes,
Oh wow.
it may not be on a national level. Everybody may
Right.
not know about it, but there are
Right.
multiple sister circles right here in South Carolina
Oh
that
wow.
are women that
Wow.
coming together and growing on their own spiritual journey. That they come together,
Wow.
I think it's once a month, and they come together
Mm.
and they do it right there at Orion Temple 5D on Garner's Ferry Road. So I
Mm.
know that
Right
there's
across the
one you
street
can
from
go
the veteran
to.
hospital.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That's
So
great.
so I mean there are places around, and I know there's other women that are doing phenomenal things. But I'm just saying, and the woman that runs this, her name is Maya, and I don't remember the other lady that runs a sister circle. But I know Maya from Orion Temple on Broad River Road. Yeah, I know that she definitely hosts a sister circle
Oh,
once a
that's
month.
amazing. That's
So yeah,
amazing.
there are definitely women out there that are collaborating together. And I was talking to the God today, and we putting together this God training coming around real soon. So y'all can look
Mm.
forward to that. Yeah.
That's
Me
it.
and
Definitely.
Drew was talking about that today, so we definitely gonna put that in line.
All right, most definitely. Hey,
Awesome.
when you
And
do, that's actually one of. We will talk afterwards. But it's funny you
Yeah.
actually say that.
Right
I
now,
was
this
going to
edification of
say.
mothers. Edification of mothers. Right now, edification
there
of
you
mothers.
go. That's it. That's
I was. It's funny. It's
it.
funny you say that because literally you just hit on what I was about to ask. I was gonna ask because I'm like, we got some viewers on here right now. I was gonna ask them if any of them are mothers. What would it take for women to come together as a community to figure out what they need to do as a community to teach, reach, and uplift the children? So I mean, with you saying that, I was like, you mother fofo. But hey, that worked out great.
But listen. This is what you got to do. Do a show and put the women on here and ask that question. They gonna answer that question way better than I can. I'm not even able to speak on that because
Yeah,
that's
Right.
I was gonna ask the viewers that were in here right now.
oh,
Any
okay.
mothers.
All right. Bet.
So
Yeah,
that's why I was
okay.
just like, it's funny you hit on that because I was gonna ask them like, what would it take
Mhm.
for mothers to come together? What can men do to give you all that support for mothers to come together as a community to be able to
Get
give
their
that
shit together.
support?
Get their shit together.
Get their stuff together. Exactly. That's
Get
what
your
men need to
no.
do.
Get your shit together. And goddamn, because when a man got himself together, he can hold that woman upright. She
Yes,
can
That's
do
it.
whatever. She can be at a most vulnerable state when a man got his shit together.
That's
When a
it.
man
That's
ain't
it.
got his shit together, a woman ain't know how to be.
Diamond
That's
says
it.
heal.
That's it.
She said,
She says heal. She said ain't no she said heal.
heal. There you
Ain't
go.
no way around it. I can hear her voice right now. Ain't no way
You know what I'm
around
talking
it.
about? Heal. Yeah. Shout
Right.
out to my
Right.
baby girl. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to my baby girl.
I can hear her voice right now. Ain't no way around it.
Ain't no you can hear, right? Ain't that
Just
bad
like
when you
that,
Right.
can
right?
all just hear her voice? I don't even know if that's good or bad. That's that mother shit.
That's a
That's that
parental
mother shit.
connection. Yeah.
Exactly,
You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly.
it.
We can
That's
only
That's
it.
that
imagine
That's a
mother
what it's
shit,
like.
man.
connection.
We can only
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
what it's like, but we never will know what it's like being a man.
Nah.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Now,
I gotta put this one up. She
father,
says, have understanding and love with oneself.
Mm,
yes, for
mm,
sure.
So for
For
mm.
men
sure.
to have understanding and love with oneself, that's what we can do to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
Mm.
agree with
I
that
mean, yo, in all
110%.
honesty, this right here, we're in this episode. I want to give praise to the women, but at the same time, I want the women to let the men know what we can do to help y'all. Because
Mm.
a lot of women will not sit there and tell a man openly what they need help with. A lot of them are so strong these days that they feel
Uh,
that they can do it themselves or they're going to do it themselves. You know what?
well,
You are here, you're paying the bills, so on and so forth, whatever. But I'm gonna take care of this. And I mean, I commend the women on being as strong as they are, but at the same time, I'm like, we're supposed to be helping one another. And if there's something I can do to help you,
It's a trust factor. It's
let
a
me do
trust factor. If they
exactly.
can't trust us, then they ain't gonna open up. They ain't gonna have a conversation
and
with us. That's the part we play. If we can't show that we can hold it down and do what we need to do, then they're not gonna open up. They're not gonna say nothing. And the worst thing you can deal with is a silent woman, because she ain't telling you nothing, and she's practicing or she's planning her exit strategy. That's what's getting ready to
already,
happen. So
already.
yeah, right.
Yo, Reese, why you coming for us
And
like that? Why you
look,
coming
Get
for
your
us?
most
whole life.
and check that, Donnie, I'm gonna say this. Most men won't be able to really take what a woman said, what he
Right,
needs to do to get his shit together.
Ooh.
Most
right. She
men are
won't,
gonna
because
be
you're
so
supposed to already
egotistical.
know.
They're gonna already come combative. They're gonna say, "Well, you ain't the." So it's gonna be a versus the woman
Right.
saying, "Hey, what? This is what you can do to
Yo,
really
yo,
enhance our relationship." So it becomes
yo.
it becomes
Big Bro
a
Impossible.
different
The women are
conversation.
shooting comments right now. Oh, so Diamond says being vulnerable within so that you can allow that to be expressed when needed, which I feel goes hand in
Mhm.
hand with what you were just saying. Says be consistent, be deliberate.
Mm.
Yeah, be intentional with your
Mm.
shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Be
Exactly.
Like,
be
yo,
intentional with
for
your
any
healing.
for any men,
Right.
who is watching this, whether right now or later on, heed
You
their
better write it
words and
down.
govern yourself accordingly, okay? Because if
Write it down.
you want to find a woman that is actually going to be able to trust you, these are the things that they are seeking from you. Things that will help them love you more, and you actually provide that support so that way they can have that energy to love you more. Because if they're stuck doing so much and making it look so easy, and you're not able to recognize that they are carrying so much weight on their shoulders, like the sister in freaking El Canto, my God. Don't get upset when they're falling off, when they're sitting there feeling upset all the time, or you feel like the relationship has changed because you're not doing your part either.
Yep, that's when it's time to review yourself, to look over yourself and find out what's and you got to do it without asking, because if they're silent for a reason. And for me, it's, oh, what have I done? What did I say? What did I do wrong? I don't ask because it's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
What did you do wrong? So I got to go search myself before I open my mouth. And most of the time, if it's that way, then I'm opening my mouth with an apology. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm gonna get this shit together and do the right thing. You see what
And
I'm
mean it.
saying? So exactly, and actually do it. Doing
Yeah.
is it's not just saying, because
Yep.
what your lips are moving, but I don't see no action. I've heard that a million and one times from women that are like, "Hey, I see, all I see is lip service," and they're
Because
serious about
Some
that.
women like lip service.
yeah,
They
and
want to hear everything that they have never been told before.
They
well
want to no, they
again,
want to see the actions first, and they want to see the actions first so they can determine who you are based on your actions. That's what it
Well,
is.
I
If you're
there
talking
are
too much, you ain't doing. You're not doing enough.
there's some women who have not had the way that they were brought up. They didn't get that validation, that or correction, that confirmation. So when they're being told
Hmm.
these things, they kind of take it a lot. They hold on to it a lot more than someone who actually has been brought up in a different type of way. But Cherie says,
Right.
if I'm single dealing with children, I don't have the time to teach you the lessons I'm trying to teach my children. You're grown. Hey, K. Michelle said that, right?
Hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, I think K. Michelle said that. She was like, if I could build a man, but at the same time, she also said, she's like, I don't want to raise a grown ass child.
That's it. That's it.
we
That's it.
again, I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier about the principles.
Mhm.
Once you lose the principles of what you teach into the community from the
Yes.
mother,
That's it.
once you lose that, and now you got a grown man that don't know how to be a man and still acting like a boy.
That's it.
And we
That's
look
it. That's
around and
it.
we see grown men acting like boys because there are
Hmm.
some men that are not in touch with themselves and they don't know how to
Exactly.
deal with the reality of life. They don't know
That's
about
it.
relationships because they probably never seen one. So
Mm-hmm.
how they know
Right.
how to be in a
Yeah.
proper relationship? So we're asking
Right.
something from men that they have no proper training in. We're
That's
No,
asking
it.
something of
And
women that they have no proper training in. So
I
the
that's
feel
it.
like
That's it.
understanding and having compassion about what a mother is. That's why I say the mother has so many layers. You
mhm,
can't just say one thing about a mother because she's so dynamic.
That's it. One hundred
She's
agreed,
so
percent.
dynamic.
agreed. And
Hmm.
So
that comes back down to how literally we are there to help one another, the fathers and the mother. Because I mean,
yes,
there's things the father may recognize that a mother is weak on that he might be able to uplift her on. Like I've got a
check.
toast. Ooh, bro, I got a let me I got a toast that I actually wrote a while back, and with it, I actually spoke briefly about it. So with it, I'm like, yo, in this toast, this is what it says: cheers to fighting, cheating, love, and raising hands to women. For if we fight, may we fight for one another. If we cheat, may we cheat death. For when we love the heart, mind, body, and soul. And that when we raise hands to women, it's to lift them up or to celebrate them. Cheers. So I mean, with that, ultimately, things that I might not see in myself, she will see in me. Now, with it, it's just a matter of throat chakra. Salute. But with that, it's just a matter of okay, cool. Is your throat chakra strong enough and you have your voice to where you can actually speak to the person and let them know? Or do you have that trust? Do you have enough trust or enough confidence in the relationship to know that even if you tell them something about themselves, that's not going to cause turmoil in your relationship? But that all comes down to everything that these women were just saying, being vulnerable within so that you can allow that to be expressed when needed. Thank you, Diamond. Being consistent and deliberate. Thank you, Sharice. So, I mean, the women are giving us these keys, bro. It will be it is up to us as a man, rather than thinking that we are all knowing, and because we are physically stronger, we know better. Like, yeah, we can handle things, but when it comes down to it, majority of the women are behind us in a freaking war room praying for us as we step every time we step out of this door, because we're seeing things.
They're packing bullets with us. They packing bullets with us.
That's what I'm saying.
What you mean? They packing. You ready? I'm ready too, baby. Let's go.
Exactly.
I'm saying,
That's it.
They got our back on the physical and on the spiritual, my guy. You see? So it's like, yeah, we maybe walk out thinking that we king of the jungle, but when it comes down to it, if we mess around, if we're in some kind of turmoil, who the fuck we gonna look at? Hey, obey.
Can I say this one thing? Even though they may say the lion is the king of the jungle, I say he's the king of the jungle by faith, because we know the lioness really runs shit.
Yep. Say that.
So we know the lioness really run the tribe. He just the face and talking shit, growing and peeing around place, talking about in my territory. But if he ain't got that, if that lioness is not in his corner, his whole pride is done. I've seen it. I've seen it where the motherfucking no lioness in that pride. That pride is fucking ate alive.
There you go.
So even though the king may be the king of the castle, you don't have a lioness on your side. You're fucked, buddy.
There was a comedian that he was like, look, I'm the king of the castle when she's not around. I'm like, yo, that's true. That's
right.
That's all right. That's all right. Because I mean, even when it comes down to looking into my household, I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I do a lot, but when it comes down to it, my wife does so much more than me. Like, yeah, I take care of the bills and things like that. I clean, I cook from time to time, but I'm like, majority of the time, she's the one who's ultimately teaching the kids most of the time. She's the one who is getting up early in the mornings because she's got to go to work, but she still take the dogs out. There's times, like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes like I get home from work and she's about to go to work and she's like, I don't want to fucking go, but I need to go. I was like, I know the feeling. I was like, yo, you stronger than me, because I would have been like, I'm sick. Like, you got me beat already.
And how many times have you had to call her to ask her where things are? Because you can't remember.
Look,
I mean, those type of things.
You remember the movie Color Purple, where she's sitting there and the dude's trying to get out of the house and she's like picking up everything, passing it to him. She's like, yeah, that's scenario exactly is my household. Because I'm like, babe, where's my keys? She's like, which one? I'm like, I don't know, whichever one. I'm like, I can't find either one of them. She's like, well, you check your shoe. Why the fuck would it be in my like, I mean, so true talk, no lie. Like,
right.
Yeah, this woman,
that power, that mother, man.
Yeah,
power of the mother.
Yeah,
power of the mother.
It's wild, bro. But I wanna take this time to go ahead and give some just positive words to all the mothers. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my kids in as well. So
yeah.
I'm gonna let you start it off, Mr. Sigma Uno. All right.
Yeah. Oh man, where can I start? The sun, the moon, the earth, the water, all minerals that I grew, that were in my body when I was born. Every teaching and understanding that I had when we were growing up. The joy that we had. She's responsible for all of that. Mothers are responsible for all those things. They're so loving and they're so loving and happy to be our mothers. Yes, they discipline us, but it's all because they want to see the best for us. And I appreciate them. I love them. They are the cosmic. They are the sun, the moon, the universe. They are cosmic. They're everything that exists. They are the world. They're everything. You cannot. There's nothing we can mention in this earth that they are not. And truth of the matter, they're in charge. They are. They are the power of this earth.
Right.
Can't live without them.
All right.
We can't be born without them.
No. No, no.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let my kids give some words to their mom, and we're gonna take that for all the mommies. So go ahead and act like you're talking to mommy. Let mommy know all the good things y'all feel about her. Okay?
We love my mommy, and I love my mom because he likes me. And my mom did nice things for us.
Like what nice things does mommy do for you?
He plays with us, but he feeds us. And every time we all do a family hooray.
Oh, family what?
The family.
Oh, okay. You talking about the 1, 2, 3?
No, I talk and just hip hooray.
Okay.
That's what that's what we do together with mom. That's what my babies do all the time, Dad.
Okay.
So that's what we do together. And a family.
All right.
Love it, love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. What up, ZZ? Man, mothers, you are the reason I am who I am. You are the very essence of life. You are the very nurturer to community, to society. You are the giver of life. You are the reason why we even exist at all is because of you. You are the rock and the foundation. You are the cornerstone to our community. You are everything to us. Without you, mothers, without your dedication to raising us, we would be nothing. Without your dedication to growth, your dedication to provide, to cook, to clean, to make sure that we understood how to cook, to clean, for me to understood that my grandma, rest in power, taught me how to make sure I can cook a full meal, wash clothes, clean the house and everything. By the age of 10 to 12 years old, I could do everything. There are children today, 14 and 15 years old, don't even know how to cook. Some of them don't know how to clean their room.
They burn water.
Oh, come on. They done turn a pot on fire because they let the water boil too long. They ain't got no more water in there. And now the pot on fire. So to mothers, I thank you that you gave to us the knowledge of how to grow. You gave us the seeds that we can water within ourselves. Thank you, mothers. Thank you for your heartness and your selflessness. For you gave to us that which you were so tired and when you were so heavy and so weary, and you still continue to pour into us. Thank you, mothers. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. I appreciate all mothers out there. Any mothers that out there that's in a transition right now, keep going. Move forward. Power resides within you. That love, that essence still there within you. I'm here to edify all mothers that all power that you could ever desire resides within you. All you have to do is acknowledge it and recognize it. Recognize the power and presence of God within you right now. I'm all mothers, all fathers. Do you understand the power within you right now? Ain't nobody got to tell you. Do you know it? Mothers, we thank you. We thank you. We could not do anything without mothers. We couldn't do nothing without you. I could not crawl without you. I could not speak without you. I could do nothing without you. Thank you.
Oh man. Yo, brother Ralph, you're a hard man to follow. You know that? Like, you're a real difficult man to follow. I mean, when it comes down to it, there is no trying to one up or anything like that. Your words are beautiful, bro. Your words are beautiful. Like, if time literally was a loop, when I get old, I'd want to be like you. But we all know that time is not linear. So correction. If time was linear, when I got old, I would want to be like you, but we know that it's not linear. So
there we go. Let's switch that thing up.
Every day, I'm going to be heeding your words, and I want to make sure that, because I know, I'm like what, 15 years younger than you, supposedly, in this timeline. So I mean, with that, you told me before, you were like, look. You are moving. You told me that I was moving swiftly, and the things that I know, I'm doing pretty well. So I mean, that alone lets me know I'm on the right path. And like I said, I was like, there is no competition here. And I appreciate everything that you said. You took some of the things that I wanted to say out of my mouth and a whole lot of things that didn't even cross my mind out. So, I mean, yo, thank you. But what I want to say to others is I thank you for the things that I did not know you taught me, that you didn't even realize you were teaching me, just observing that you were doing. I want to thank you for bringing me into this world, for doing your best. Because even though there's times where you feel like you may have failed, and I know this personally because talking to my mom, she told me I brought things to her attention that she did not realize was affecting me the way that it was affecting me, but ultimately it made me better than how she thought I would turn out by the way she was raising me. So the outcomes that she thought it would have on my life, it did not have that outcome, but it made me a better person, it elevated me higher than where she thought I would end up at. So with that, mothers, thank you for doing your best, because even if you feel like you're failing, know that everything that child goes through, it teaches them things. And with that, they're always going to look at you and say thank you based off of certain responses and reactions that they had was based off of the love that you gave them. Maybe even the lack of love thoughts that they were not getting. Because love is looked at in many different ways. In a way that you love someone, they might take it as something else and might not recognize it as love when you were giving them exactly that, your best ability. So don't ever think that you are failing at being a mother, because with me being a father, I learned quickly that there is no guide on how to do this thing called parenting.
Check.
With that, you are thrown into a situation and you have to improvise, adapt, and overcome and be the best at it that you can. And nobody can sit there. Anything that you do in life, people are always going to criticize you. You can literally be the best dick sucker and someone's going to say you gave the worst head. You can be a master at building bridges and somebody can say, nah, that's not very good. You can be the master at your trade and somebody's going to say, well, I think I could have did it better. So no matter what you do, you won in the world in the Olympics, 6 times gold medalist. Somebody's going to say, well, I think that they could have did a triple a little better, or I could have did it better. There's always going to be people to criticize you. There's always going to be people to try and put you down. But as long as you know in your heart that you gave it your best, that's all that matters. And with that, I want to say thank you for sticking true to yourself and putting everything that you can in. Because there's so many times when we look at mothers, and I know my wife told me many times that when she was growing up, she knew her mom probably did not have it, but she found a freaking way to do it. Times where they wanted to go on class trips and everything, and the mom working multiple jobs trying to figure out how she's going to pay rent, but they did not know these things at the time. But still, everything got taken care of. A mother always finds a way, makes a way out of no way.
Facts.
There's times where I was growing up and I was with my mom. This is before my stepdad came into the mix, from what I can remember. And everything that I wanted, she showed me that a want and need is different. But she also taught me on how to get things myself, where it made it to where I value things better because I knew that I got it. It wasn't just given to me. When you get something yourself, you treat it differently.
Earn it.
I feel like a father, most times they will try, and me personally, I will teach my kids, like, you know what? And the reason I teach my kids this is because of my mom. You will love things more when you put the time and the effort in yourself. There's other people who they feel like that is love. And now these children have no attachment to anything. They throw things away. Just like how in this day and age, they throw away relationships. If it's broke, they don't try and fix it. They try and get a new one. Mothers, the way that y'all put so much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, literally, y'all bleed like every month. That right there is stressful in itself. Y'all are literally shedding your linings internally. I'm not gonna lie. I get kicked in the balls once. I'm like, nah, bro. And if that's anything like what y'all feel like once a month, I commend you. I keep snacks in my glove compartment just in case my wife is deciding she's gonna be a little hangry. I don't want to deal with that. Y'all are strong, and y'all oftentimes stay silent. I appreciate the silence, but speak up, because a lot of us men think we know everything, and I feel that y'all can honestly us in a lot of our thoughts, the way that we think. y'all can bring a lot of light to the imperfections of our mind. Y'all can heal us of a lot of things that we go through. And I know that there's a lot of women who feel that men don't listen, but at the same time, you have to realize, just looking on this panel tonight, there's a lot of men who are seeking, and a lot of men who do listen, a lot of men who are understanding, a lot of men who want to know, a lot of men who are moving of ignorance. They don't know, but they want to know. They're not stupid. They don't know and don't want to know. They are ignorant. We don't know, but we are want to know. We have a will. We have a willing to know. Thank you, Impossible. I have the ignorance that has become one of my favorite things now. So bless up on that.
You see how far that thing goes into it. You see how deep it runs.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sigma Uno, I see you right there. What the fuck? You went from being over his shoulder to being in the screen. See that right there? I'm telling you, women, y'all got superpowers. Oh, but nah, I want to actually hear your voice on this question before I close out. And with that, I actually want to turn off the background music for this because I feel like this one is a little important. Being a mother, a single mother, a woman raised by multiple brothers, what is and I know you don't want to raise a grown-ass man, but what advice can you give to men who are trying to raise children alone?
Pretty much the same as I would give a woman. I need you to be very deliberate and very consistent in what you're doing. If you do not know, before you start, ask questions. Ask questions, especially fathers that are raising single daughters. Ask questions. You have the ability to build your village based on what you know you need. And you know, if you're raising a daughter, you're going to need some things early on. So start building that community before you need that community, whether it be an aunt, a sister, a homegirl from high school, somebody that you're close with. It's preferable that it's those people versus somebody that you met in the club. Hey, I think my daughter might be just starting her period and I need help. That's not going to be received as well as people with as you would believe, because you're trying to be helpful and it's something that you lack, but that's not something that in that time is appreciated by your young lady, because she can't see past you. Then brought this woman back from the club and she's supposed to be helping me. You don't even know her. So, I mean, things like that. Plan ahead. Do your due diligence and the situations that you put yourself in, the situations that you put your children in. That way, everybody's not being trauma with the same trauma at the same time, because everybody doesn't have the ability to recover from certain. I don't know. Ask me a clarifying question.
Sorry, my son was talking to me just now. What was the last part that you said? I heard something about
I said, ask me a clarifying question because I feel like I'm going in multiple directions and I just need to know which way I need to go.
Oh, it was more just along the lines of anything that you wanted to tell any man who is raising children by himself. So I mean, I don't know what. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know any way
Channel
to
your
clarify
grandma.
that.
Channel your grandma. Channel your grandmother. Channel your youth. Remember what you were as a child, the things that were going on with you as a child. It's a loop. There's nothing new under the sun. Your child is going through the same thing and just a variated version of it. Keep all of that in mind. You can't raise a child when you're trying to adult, because most times you're adulting, you try to adulting your kids and you can't adulting your kids. It just doesn't work out, because then you end up frustrated because you're expecting them to respond and act with the mindset of an adult and they're not.
Say that one more time for the people in the back.
No, I just realized
Children, your children. Don't adult your children. Children, your children. They need to wear dungaroos. They don't need to be running around in the same outfit you wore to the club in a miniature size. Just because it comes in that size does not mean it should be worn. That goes for children and big girls.
I'm not even gonna.
Hey, I'm a big girl. I can say that.
I'm not gonna hit on that last part. I'm not doing it. Oh,
Bam.
I've seen some stuff at the gas station, but yes. I thank you for that. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out this episode. Thank you for everybody who stayed on, everybody who engaged, everybody who was on. If anything, share this to anybody who you feel needs to hear this. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it. Ultimately, I'm not here to make money off this. I just want to be a voice for those who feel that they're never heard. I want to be an ear that is there to listen to those who need someone to listen to. I want to be an ear for those who want someone to speak to. And with that, this was Divine Time. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And do me a favor. Listen to this song.
She the sunrise in the cold morn, warmth I felt. Up me the ropes, no excuses, dealt what was dealt. Grit so fierce, mountain couldn't break a stride. So vibrant, bright as city lights, never hide. Knees bruised from the long road she paved. Raising kings and queens, every day we praise. Mama wear the crown, the queen of our town. The love beating anthem, the sound of profound, built us up from the ground. No love deep but profound. Mama taught forever reign, she be our royal now.